Morning or evening, wherever you are in the world. I'm sure over in the US it's the evening. I didn't get to do it last night. I was quite fatigued, so I'm leaving the collective energy for this morning. So I'll wait for a few people to get on and we can get tucked into it. How are we all? How many people do we have awake in the world? Hey, Giggle, welcome. And I know my Libran people out there are going, really? Is that all you had? No, there's more, but I thought I'd save it for the collective energy that was coming through. I knew you were looking at it going, is that all? No, that's not all. But I needed to get the general energy of what was going out to prepare you guys so that I could get the collective energy done separately. How are we all? Are we raring to go, ready for the downloads of information? Hi, Alison. So how are we all feeling? Are we all prepared for July? Yeah, you're going to find, I think the air signs are, we're going to go through this energy wave differently. It does help to actually be prepared. Hey, morning neighbour. Woke up this morning and I had no milk and it was like, are you serious? I need to exercise. I don't have time for this. Well, it's the way it goes. So I've got to do these videos. Then I can exercise. Then I can come back and do the twin flame videos. Jen. Those tears. I know what you're up to, lady. Okay. So have we watched our scopes? Did we look at them? Are we prepared for the, I might start doing energy updates so that we can look at it like a weather forecast and we can say, okay, what are we in for here? Well, the weather forecast for July is extreme depending on how you directly heal. I've got milk now. I went and got my protein shake and I got some milk. I haven't had time to do shopping. I've been too busy, so I'm going to do that later. Exercise first. Isn't it? Oh, did you see the funny video I put on Facebook, Carmen, of the cat? That'll be Gemini. Play dead. The cat comes up. Not going to save us. Of course it's organic, Jenny. Are you joking? Okay. Which one should we start on first? How many have we got on here? Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius? What would you like me to tune into first? Throw me a boomerang. Gemini. Oh, Gemini. Yeah, I'll get all the other elements done separately. I'll do the air elements first. Okay, Gemini, what am I picking for you guys? I feel you guys are dealing with an aspect of adversity at the moment. Generally, your character is super bubbly, but and this is quite common for the way the planets are at the moment. It's almost like when you're taking medication, you get a side effect if it gives you a different disposition and personality. And very much Gemini this month, Gemini is going through a mass transformation. Most of the zodiac signs are, especially the ones of us who are transforming. And a lot of us with the planets are doing a great deal of transformation. Now, I'm finding that Gemini's character at the moment is feeling that they're spiritually under an aspect of attack. Now, you've got to discern between, is it a reality or is it because you're actually physically and spiritually going through a transformation yourself? You know, your natural disposition is it's a very comfortable character with its own energy. But with the changes, what you'll find is the way you directly deal towards those changes is it's going to knock your self-esteem for 6, but it's not that it's knocking it. It's an old wound that you're going back down into and it's resurfacing, unfortunately. But a lot of 2018 is about freeing ourselves from those old paradigms. And when you look back into 2016, and I really want to do a video about this because it's a common, I've seen this kind of theme, and it has been almost like I've always said, we have three warnings from universe. Now, it doesn't say when they come about, but generally speaking, we've got the three warnings from universe. So why I feel I keep referring back to 2016 is because it was a 3D experience we all physically went through to come to a place where we realized where we did and where we just didn't have control. And very much it was, we did feel that we were really moving against adversity in 2016. In 2017, we were applying our skills and taking direct action on an area different each month. So you were using the application of your intelligence, your experience, to directly deal with areas in your life. So you were applying, and you didn't have time. 2016 taught you, don't look too far ahead, although have the plans, but it prevented us from being able to do that. So it almost knocked our ego for six, because we were like, hang on a minute, we really felt that we could manifest these things. So then when you get into 2017, you come to a humbled point of going, okay, well, I'm just going to deal with what's in front of me, because you didn't have time to have the ego mind, the ego body directly dealing with external situations, because it was so prevalent to be in the moment and deal with that 3D situation that you didn't have time to look ahead. But that also now in 2018 is teaching us where we do have power, where we don't have power, where we have wounds that are directly impacting us manifesting. So the power is within us, but in a different way that we just didn't quite realize. Some of it's actually teaching us where we directly have been utilizing power in ill format. It's also been showing us where, has the ego been having a mask on our face where we can't feel that we are in our authentic self in some point. And it's almost like the facade of who we were has been due to external situations, society, the pressure we place on ourselves, and a role that we chose to play. And that's collectively, that's just not for Gemini. But Gemini at the moment, because of that, they had this way in which they were living within the world. And suddenly all of that 3D nature is really being questioned. So there can be some situations where you're actually looking at different things. Yes, it can be. You're looking at different things in your life and you're going, that actually doesn't make me comfortable anymore. Okay, well, my perception's changing. Why do I feel this way? So you guys are doing a lot of internalization, but you will move through the energies quicker in an aspect of purging than you had before. So before you might have found you sort of just, it was like you were waving it. You were just flowing on the top and just above it all. But now it's really pulling you down. So it can be some 3D situations that you guys are, directly dealing with, and you're going, oh, I'm not too sure about this. It doesn't really make me feel all that comfortable. So it can be that you're up in your mind psychoanalyzing things, and that's okay, providing it's going to serve a purpose. There can be conflict connected to external people that you guys are dealing with at the moment. And it feels as though sometimes you might have this need to actually walk on eggshells. In a romantic level, and this is collectively as well, a lot of old flames from the past might be coming back, okay? And, some of you may already be sensing this. Now, if it does happen, it's not bad. Retrograde with certain planets at the moment are directly connected to, is there something you missed? So it's almost like a pausing, how do I put it? Especially if you've had unresolved feelings and that person's had unresolved feelings, what you'll directly find is it's happening at the correct time, because it's a very good time to reflect. So things will come back to the surface, be it in work, be it in love, whatever comes to you, it's asking for you not to discard, to actually look at it and have a good hard look about it. Does it directly fit into who you are today? You know, was there something where you had a part in it or they had a part in it? So it's a very good time to actually do the reflection, either the rebuild, but the rebuild will be working on what you have in front of you. So you still will have to, it still would be a process, even if you decided that you were going to work through that. But don't be surprised collectively if Libra, you know, Gemini and Aquarius do see people from the past. And this can be in all walks of life. It can be work colleagues, it can be old partners, just anything in general, like old friends, just resurfacing to a point where you're going, gosh, wow, that, and it's happened to me last night. When I really think about it, I had an email from an old colleague from, oh God, 20 years ago. And they were like, hi, Yildiz, gee, you know, and they didn't know that I was running a psychic business. And it's like, hi. So Ferry, if you're watching, hello. Okay, what else am I picking for Gemini? At times it can feel like you're trying, you know, you love to look after your parents, but you might actually find all of a sudden you're just getting to a point where you're going, oh, hi, Libra. You're just going, oh, I really can't be bothered today. And it's really strange because that's really not the way you are. But don't be surprised if you start feeling that you just can't be bothered. And it's where you've been making effort and where you haven't really been reaping a reward connected to it. So it's almost like you're taking the Libra energy on. You're coming to a place where you're going, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, for you maybe, but for me, it needs to be so. So if it's for you, it's different. But you're really coming to a place where you're reassessing that. Now, on the work front, for you guys, I don't know why this is such a heavy energy. It feels that you're working on something and it just doesn't fit. Now, during this time, what you're going to need to do is really have a good hard look at it. Now, there's different ways you can apply your energy to it. You can either come to a point where you can say, right, what I'm going to do is, why am I feeling this way, number one? Because, like I said, a lot of the planets are asking you to rejig what you're currently already doing. If you still physically feel that you don't want to be doing it, if it's not meant to be, it will physically be removed. And that can be in an aspect of a tower moment. So be super careful about the way you meditate and you manifest. Now, manifesting, I will do a video on this. It can even be your signal where you're going, oh, this job's killing me. It's really not, it's not for me. That can be removed from you. What I'm feeling for Geminis, though, is you need to have a very short break. Try and regenerate yourself. Be it take a day off. Try and get yourself grounded and then look at it from an external point of view of how you can rectify the situation or how you can rejig it so that it works more suitably for yourself, external parties. So it's like we're having a reshuffle to get the work and life balance in order. So I feel that's really going to be important for you. If you are wanting to jump out and jump into a different position, leave that till after August, if you possibly can. If you can't, it's the way it goes, but there can be delays connected to contracts around that time. So I'd very much say if you're going to do that, probably if you're signing a new contract, get it done before mid-month, because there's going to be a shadow period and that can be problematic with contracts. Aquarius. I'm doing Aquarius and then I'll do Libra, then I'll jump over and I'll do the other elements. I'm doing it per element. Okay. So a lot of you, though, are going to sense, regardless within this element, you're going to sense something's changing. You really need to follow your intuition and your gut. Sometimes the ego is directly blocking you from seeing the truth, okay? Hey, I'm sorry, I was supposed to come on last night, but I was so fatigued and I just don't think I'd be able to tune in correctly, so apologies. Okay, Aquarius. You guys are super emotional at the moment and you have been up and down, right? It has been really up and down, but it's because you're so very passionate. You're a very passionate sign. It's very much all or nothing with you guys. And, you know, when you love deep. When you believe, I mean, you guys would make the best politicians, I'm telling you. But you need to slow down because you're going to miss some things. If you can slow down, just realize, a bit like a weather forecast, we attract like. So if we're finding externally to us, we're constantly getting these agitated souls coming in and people misinterpreting what we're saying, maybe we need to change our language format. And it can be that maybe it's not that you're wrong, it's more that they're not understanding exactly what you're saying. So I can see a lot of miscommunication going on. It's almost like you need to speak a foreign language. And it may be some of you might be choosing to learn a foreign language. I find you guys to be able to pick things up very quickly. You really need to direct your energy into something to manifest it, because you have great manifestation potential. If anything, within this element, you guys have the most magical touch when it comes to manifestation. But 9 times out of 10, the manifestation is it a negative frequency, because you get frustrated and bogged down. So what you're going to find is, usually when you remove the aspect of ego, you're able to then manifest. So when you're coming to a place where you say, I want to manifest a situation, you then will look at it and you'll say, okay, so I'm going to look at the other side. I'm going to have that. Don't put into place the 3D scenarios of how am I going to get from A to B, because that's what's blocking you guys. You know, you're looking at it as, okay, it's a bit like those high jumps, you know, and you're jumping over them. When you're looking at the boundaries, the barriers, and the obstacles, that's blocking your manifestation. You know, and the reason why from an angry point of view you're able to manifest is because you've just created it. You've just stated it so you've blocked it, so you're attracting that direct element. Yet when you're not looking at the obstacles, as long as you're grounded and you can get your frequency higher, what you can do is see the outcome over the way to get there. Universe will help you find that. So you don't need to really do that part. Manifesting is what you want and believing it. You really need to own it. It's a bit like a twin flame journey. It's like, you know it's so, but then as you don't accept it, what happens is it's blocked. So that's when it slows down, because you're needing to release the ego connected to it so you can get that direct connection to it moving. So 9 times out of 10, when you release the energy and you let it go, that's when it comes to a point when it's coming to you, because you're just focusing the energy back on you, getting your frequency correct. And that's when, you know, movement happens 9 times out of 10. Libra. All of the elements in the air sign, I'm finding they're shedding old skin. Oh, 1 minute. I did forget to mention Aquarius's love life. Should go into that, shouldn't I? Do you guys want to know about your love life? Okay. You guys are actually going to have several suitors. There is, but it's like you've got your eye on one and you're like, nah. It's almost like you're painting a picture connected to what you think these 3D people are. But then you've got your eye on another who is giving you far less than what these others are offering you. What you need to do, again, is the aspect of manifestation. Instead of painting that picture that all women or men are in a certain light, you actually need to paint the picture of that person that you're trying to manifest in. You know, release it and picture the energy at the most perfect, neutral, relevant time frame now. And that's going to help bring that energy in, because at the moment it's like the reason you're attracting it is because you've released the ego, yet the one you're wanting to attract in, you have ego directly connected to it, like some aspect of control related issues to it. So it's actually sending a negative frequency out. So if you can just release that and place the energy back on yourself, what you're going to find is it's going to start to flow in. Does that make sense? Do remember, we are in a very healing time. So, you know, we are going through a lot of shedding of skin. Libran, you guys are reapplying your energy connected to a work area. At times it's high, at times it's low. So you're trying to rebuild that foundation to make something work. You also might be quite choosing to either 3D being removed from elements of life temporarily, but it's because you're fine-tuning aspects of your life. Almost like, how can I explain it? It's a bit like in the olden days when you're being re-released into society. That's almost like what's happening. So you're fine-tuning things. Hi, Gypsy, thank you. You're fine-tuning things on the work front. So you're having a look at it. And again, it is like Humpty Dumpty. So things weren't quite meshing or fitting. You're reconfiguring it. But this can be in the way you're looking at work as well. So again, if you're wanting to manifest something, remove the ego, look at the bigger picture, and then what you're going to do is see the other side and look at it from an external point of view. And this can be, if you're in a working environment and you've got colleagues, look at it from an external point of view. If you're running a business, again, look at it from an external point of view. I mean, I'm a Libran and I'm doing that now. I'm finding that I'm actually doing research to see it from your perspective so that I can integrate the business connected to that. Does that make sense? So you've got to look at it in a different point, and also try to not block your progress. Follow your intuition. That's going to be very important this month. And in general, I feel you guys do. All air signs do really have that intuition. Gemini, it's more a vibrational feel. Aquarius is very susceptible to energy. So you've got it. You guys are super powerful. I actually feel you guys will be very good as Reiki healers. You guys sense vibrations and it knocks you for six. So it's incredibly important for you guys to clear your energy. Libran is more intuitive and may have the other elements as well. But you'll find Aquarius actually absorbs a lot of negative energy and positive. So whatever you surround yourself with, or however your frequency is, you'll actually, there you go, you'll actually absorb that. But you need to be very mindful to clear yourself, because you'll become very toxic dealing with those energies, because you're very receptive to it. So you do need to wear, you know, crystals and amethysts to detoxify yourself. Have amethysts in your room, and that can deplete that negative energy out of you. There you go. Libran. Okay, what else am I picking for you guys? I do literally, with Librans, do very much feel that their frequency was quite low at some point, but it's due to an external situation. I do feel your energy is charging and moving. And I feel as though you're almost reaching that point where the healing has, and it's not that we ever stop healing. It's more, you know, you're coming to that place where you're feeling a little bit more grounded. But we'll forever be purging. I mean, this is part of life, but it's like you have had that that stage of healing that was needed for you to start moving forward in life. So you're going to feel in July that aspect's going to do a 360, but you're learning to trust your intuition again. And you're also seeing a further outcome in a sense of manifestation, but also in a sense of understanding certain things are a process. So I do feel it's like you've felt you've been hiding, but almost, hey, Stella, you haven't been hiding. You've been like, what do they call it? It's like a metamorphosis. It's like the caterpillar going into the change, and then it's opening up and it's transforming. So there was a need for transformation. Add an emotional, there you go, emotional, spiritual, you know, to regenerate. So you're having a rebirth, so to speak, which again, the planets are directly connected to that for all zodiac signs at the moment, depending on the work you've been putting in. Otherwise, by August, this is going to be very relevant for you guys. I don't know why for the air signs I also heard Nike, and I don't know whether that's sports related or that's the key where it's just do it, you know, whatever you need to do, just do it. That's what I kept hearing. Really weird. And I was listening to a song and I was like, are you serious? Nike, just do it. Okay, yeah, okay, I'll say that. There may be an option or something that comes towards you, you know, that it's saying that as well. But I do feel you guys are being careful about your health. You're looking at your diet. You're being very strict with yourself. So it's like you're not only having a spiritual cleanse, you're having an internal detoxification cleanse. Some of you are looking at aspects of habits as well and really thinking, hey, it's actually time. And you're taking the process and the steps to do that. It's not going to happen overnight, but it's like the process and the steps mentally and emotionally and physically are going to start to be made. And again, for you guys as well, a lot of what is coming through is you might not be seeing something, but intuitively you feel something's happening. And it can be that as your vibration changes, people that are interested in you are going to start moving forward. Now, for those of you who you're wanting to manifest a particular person, again, I do feel many of you who had been might have sort of put that on the back burner and thought it's never going to happen. And I feel certain people, again, as I said, friends, you know, family members that you haven't seen for a long time, it's like things will start to come back. You do need to do the work connected to that because that's the finalization of healing for that forward movement ahead. Butterfly in the morning. Hello, stranger. Sula, I've been thinking about you. I swear we're in tune, us too. Okay. And I still owe you a reading, lady, and I have emailed you several times. She's a bit of a jet setter, she is. Okay. What else am I picking? Anything else Librans would like to know? Love. My twin has returned as of last week. A lot is. And look, in the shadow period, a lot of certain planets are helping that and assisting that to happen. And it can be there for several things. Generally, if your frequency is not directly connected to your ego and control related issues and you've released it, it's going to be more balanced, but you need to keep your frequency there. But yes, a lot of people can be coming where you're going to see a lot more speaking of truth and a lot more healing coming through. It's not the best time to start new situations. It's more finalizing what you have directly in front of you. It's really hard to do that though, Giggle, because what you'll find is, from my experience, that energy is forever there. So if universe wishes for you to actually learn something, you can't. It will shut down. It's a bit like a psychic gift. You can actually, from childhood, I would say, I don't want that, you know, close it down. I know that, Dale, but that's good because that's the release of the ego. You don't need to manifest twin in. Twin is you. The more work you do on yourself, you're releasing the ego, the control-related issues, the codependency. You're then doing the spiritual work, the fatigue. What it highlights and what it brings up is going to help you get grounded to a point where you're whole again. And that's when you realize that everything you physically need, you have. You do not need that from anyone else. So the vibration within the connection is going to be very light. It will be fluid. Do you understand what I'm saying? So just try and relax into the energy of what the trigger points are in July, and try and work through them like a resume. Yeah, Well, heart chakra, in there, interestingly enough, where was it? There was a piece of paper here that I was going through last night. If you guys know how much notes I've got, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's just too many. I mean, we're in the strawberry moon, I think, in June, and we're going into the buck moon later. But I'll do a separate video on twins anyway. I shall do a separate video on twins, but I guess I should leave it at that. But I do see successful finances for the air signs this month. And the reason why the Libran video, it was, you know, Librans are releasing the ego. So you're more receptive and open to what's coming. You're going to be more open to love. You're going to be more open to experiencing what universe wants to give you. So just be open. That would be my best advice. There are suitors coming for you if they haven't already, and you're not directly dealing with like a soulmate connection or something to that degree. But just be open to it. I mean, regardless of being a twin or not a twin, however you feel that energy is, and you can go as fast or as slow as you wish to. The pace is yours. And I feel that's very much the energy that you're taking from here. There you go. Yeah, lots of people coming back, but it's needed. You know, these are things where you may have had a spiritual connection with that person, and some changes have happened in their life, and it's bringing you back. You're a triplet. Well, ask Luciana if Jen's still watching. Okay. I will love you and leave you. And what sign should I do next? What elements? Oh. What elements, guys? She is funny. Love it a bit. Fire. That's okay. Okay, we'll do fire next. Give me 5 to 10 and I'll be back. Love and light, guys. I'll do water after.